This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I'm jazzed.
Oh, all right. Well, strong words to be coming in here.
Yeah.
What are you jazzed about something or just jazzed in general?
I'm jazzed about
Have you been
life.
listening to a lot of jazz? Is that maybe what did it?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Thelonious Monk, Tom.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, this music is going to sweep the nation. People have to hear this.
Yeah. No, I thought people got over those Gregorian monks. That was like a 90s thing.
You're thinking, oh, it's the 1990s where the Gregorian monks
Yeah,
did
where they were putting out CDs with Enya and whatnot.
Yeah, what happened? Did the monks decide, like, it's time for us to cash in on
Being monks.
Did some slick music industry guy
Oh,
find
absolutely.
the monks and be like, hey, you guys have been singing for free for centuries?
Right. Yeah, probably just smuggled
Jimmy Iovine went over there and was just like,
just smuggled a recorder in and then went to, I don't know, somebody from like CNC Music Factory.
Did they put beats behind the
Yeah, because it
tunes?
was like, this is what I remember it was like. The chanting was like, oh.
That tracks,
But
yeah.
then underneath it was like, boom, ba-da, boom, boom, ba-da, boom,
Well, that's
boom,
not CNC
ba-da,
Music
boom.
Factory.
No,
That's
it
like,
was... It was sexy music.
yeah, like
It's kinda
who
like
produced
Sade.
or like PM Dawn or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it was like PM Dawn-esque, yeah. But hey, it
We
worked.
got to the bottom of it.
Lightning in a bottle, they caught it with Gregorian monks and PM Dawn-esque sound-alike tracks.
I mean, they got you to see a commercial at 2 a.m. for the CD.
Those albums went like 10x platinum, I think.
Did they?
There's a reason why they were advertising them all the time.
I mean,
And they were
advertise
selling
My Pillow all the time.
Yeah,
too.
but and My Pillow makes a ton of money too, and that's why that knucklehead's got all the money to throw around for his maniac conspiracy theories.
Well, thank you not to talk about Mr. Lindell that way.
I mean, the Gregorian monks, all they probably did was buy new robes.
I can't find I mean, that's the thing. We're the monks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know much about monks, but they don't like
They're
flashy stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are different types of monks. I'm not sure, because the traditional idea of a monk is somebody who has devoted their life to their religion. They've maybe taken a vow of celibacy or a vow of silence, and they're 100% devoting their life to their religion.
Right.
But then there are some monks that I think also I put out CDs. And these are those types of monks.
Okay. Well, hey, my best wishes go out to the monks making a lot of money on CDs.
Gregorian and otherwise.
Yeah. I think Gregorian is, all right. Into monks, Tom.
Gregorian monks, Gregorian calendar. That's what else do we know about Gregorians and what they've contributed?
We're gonna get.
I mean, to say that's Gregorian calendar and Gregorian monks. It's a calendar that everybody uses, and then some CDs. Like I said, that sold pretty well. So it's a pretty good. It's better than I've done.
They're doing well.
I've been trying to get my calendar to take off for years. I haven't gotten anywhere.
Too many months.
Yeah.
Too many months in your calendar.
Yeah, but isn't it?
And some of their names have slurs in them. The names of the month.
It's the way
I
you're
know
pronouncing
they weren't
them.
slurs when you were growing up. You say. And
It
you
would be
always say, I can't say anything these days.
It would be fun if there were more months. If there were 24 months in a year.
No. It's stressful. You don't think it's stressful on the first day of a new month? You're just like, Jesus, another month older.
Yeah, I guess our rent's
closer
due.
to the grave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our rents would skyrocket, Tom.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you'd
we'd
be paying
double the amount of...
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, probably. I'm not even thinking. Probably there's some landlord coalition that's about to find me and be like, oh, we'd like to take a look at this calendar, actually.
Tom, I got a question for you. Wait, hold on. Just back to monks real quick.
Yeah, of course.
You ever see these monks and you're like, I could do that. I should do that. You ever think you'd like thrive?
No, I don't think. I don't. What do you mean by thriving? What would constitute?
You'd be like,
You think you would be the most popular monk or something, or like the head monk?
No, I think you just really take to it. Like I'd go there and I'd be like, all right, I could take a vow of silence.
I don't, Tim. You do this stupid thing.
I know. I'd quit. I'd quit this, and I think that's really what I'm fantasizing about.
It's just quitting this.
Yeah,
Okay.
not having this conversation.
I mean, you don't have to take a vow of silence to do that.
Yeah, but I really think like, I think I'd figure out. Oh, this is what life is all about. You know, like sitting around in a dank, damp castle.
Tim, if you became a Gregorian monk, you just you wouldn't be able to get out of this podcast. You just have to chant on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's the only way.
Like, how are you doing this week, Tim? And you go, oh,
I'm feeling jazzed.
Yeah, you can't talk when you're chanting. I guess they're probably saying something in like Latin or whatever. You'd have to start speaking Latin on this
Yeah, I don't
podcast.
want to do that. Forget it. I wouldn't thrive in that case. All right, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question.
Yeah.
You're a dog owner.
Uh-huh.
I have a child.
Uh-huh. Tim, look, if you're asking about how something works and you think I'm going to know because I have a dog.
Oh, I thought you were going to assume that I was proposing a trade. Like, look, caring for a kid is way too
Have
hard.
you ever thought about maybe having a child instead?
I went to a bar today, Tom.
Yeah,
During
okay.
the day. It was really nice out.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day in New York City today.
Brought the little baby along.
Your little baby, I presume.
Yeah. With friend of the show, Pollux. He was there. And we were getting a beer. It's nice having a beer on a sunny day.
Yeah, you better hope Child Protective Services isn't listening to this episode.
What? You're not allowed to. It was a bar/restaurant. I was sitting on the street.
Well, that doesn't make it any better, Tim. You're sitting in the middle of the street with your son,
No, it's on the side.
pounding a bottle of vodka
So I got a beer
in the middle of the day.
In the middle of it, it was 2:30 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm there with the baby. The baby.
Did
is
Pollux
in a
bring
stroller.
his baby?
No.
Because he's got a child.
Yeah.
When you showed up, did he look at you like, come on,
really?
man,
You
no
brought
kids?
that guy? No, but my baby was like, oh.
Oh, great. They're just an adult, no other baby.
So
Who am I going to talk to?
So the babies need to nap.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So the baby fell asleep in a stroller. I
Some
was like, this is
40-year-old
great.
men need to nap.
Yeah. Well, you? Do you still take a nap every afternoon?
Not every afternoon.
But many afternoons?
Actually, not as much lately, I think, since
What do you
daylight
do
savings
that
time.
necessitates a nap?
I stay up too late. That's what I
Okay,
do.
yeah. All right. So baby falls asleep, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is great, because the baby needs to nap.
Right.
They don't nap, all hell breaks loose.
Right.
So we're sitting there, the baby's in the stroller, and then sleeping, and there's a guy with a dog there.
Yeah.
And he's playing Wordle on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a nice guy. I like playing Wordle. I play on my computer. I'd like... Here's the thing about me at Wordle.
I mean, I like to play on my computer, but, to
No.
each his own.
I wish I could play on my phone like this guy.
You can, Tim.
No, because here's what happened. I started... The first time I ever played Wordle was on my computer.
Oh, so now it's
So
just,
now it's just
yeah.
like I got my stats and my
Yeah,
streaks and whatnot.
I think you can.
No,
sync 'em.
no, you can't sync them.
Yeah.
Maybe now that New York Times, I don't know,
I think
whatever.
you can.
That's fine. That's all well and good. But he's got a dog there,
Mm-hmm.
and everything's fine. But then the dog starts like barking real loud,
Yeah.
and like, look, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I bring a sleeping baby to a bar or
Right,
to a
yeah,
restaurant
yeah.
in the middle of the day. And, like, it's on a busy street, too.
Mhm.
There's, like, the dirt bikes going by and, like, buses and stuff.
Mhm.
But, like...
Probably the baby's father is getting progressively drunker and
I
louder.
had one beer, you son of a bitch. Shut up. So the dog starts barking.
Uh-huh.
And, like, look, you're a dog owner.
Yeah.
If you're out somewhere with your dog and
Yeah.
your dog starts barking maniacally...
Yeah, I do this. Hey, Stop that.
This guy's just playing Wordle.
Yeah. Well.
And like, look, I know, like, I shouldn't be like, hey, we ought to be very quiet because there's a baby here.
Yeah, but
I
even
think
if there
there's
wasn't
a little
baby, nobody
Okay.
wants a barking dog while they're trying to otherwise enjoy themselves.
Okay.
I don't like having, if it's just me and my dog at home and she starts barking, I'll be like, hey, don't do that. Come on. And we're trying to be chill here.
And I think this guy was a little bit like, I can't believe this guy brought a baby here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, there was nobody else there.
Right.
And this guy, he's one of these guys, he had a book on the table.
Yeah.
The book wasn't open. He was playing Wordle the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, how?
The whole time? How
No,
long
I
could
did. He was playing Wordle when I got there.
Okay.
When I left, like 30 minutes later, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, so yeah, he's probably on OnlyFans.
What's that?
What's that?
So anyway,
Tim, your wife doesn't listen to this show. You don't have to pretend
what that I
that you're aware of risque websites on the internet.
I'd like to, Tom. See, this is why I think I'm cut out to be a monk. I don't want to know about OnlyFans. I don't want to know about Wordle. I don't want to know about anything, to be honest.
Yeah, and you'd rather be a monk looking down your robe at everyone, shaming them.
Not shaming them. I just have I don't think everybody
Saying, "Oh, you're selling nude photographs of yourself." Well, I took
nude.
I took a vow of silence.
I thought they were bikini pics, Tom.
Some people, sure, but I think if you want to make
My OnlyFans is bikini pics.
If you want to make the real money, you got to take it off.
Okay. Well, I was expecting to get more pushback from a dog owner here, thinking like, "Oh, you baby people!
Oh no,
think
no,
you're better
I think,
than us dog people."
No, I mean, if the dogs are barking, like it's not his fault, obviously, but it is his fault if he's not like, "Hey, don't bark."
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it's
also
fine.
when my dog's barking, my concern is where are you barking at? Something's stressing you.
Yeah, he didn't
let's
care.
fix that situation or take you out of that situation.
Looking at bikini pics are worse on his phone, I think.
Right.
And so like eventually,
Mm-hmm.
after like 5 of the barking sessions,
Fits.
fits. I was gonna say fits, and I thought you'd accuse me of being too dramatic.
Why, Tim? Look,
You have an antagonistic thing. You Tom, you don't like me, and you like.
but I'm not like I think actually, if anything, like being a dog owner, I have more critiques about other dog owners than I do like, oh no, we all got to stick together.
Yeah. So eventually, the baby wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I take him out of the stroller, and I'm holding him. And it's actually good. Pollock starts to the baby. It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think that guy, like, looked over, like, mission accomplished. Then he, like, paid his bill and left.
You were going to say then he paid his dog and left.
It turns out it wasn't even his dog. He just he paid that dog. Hey, he paid some stray dog to come wake up a baby.
Yeah,
just to
maybe
get
that's what
jollies.
he was doing on his phone, looking at some hire a dog website. not for that, obviously, because he already had a dog for that. But maybe he had something else he needed.
Boudoir photographs of a dog.
Maybe, who knows what this sick guy was up to. Hey, if he's sick enough to let his dog bark to wake up a baby, who knows what other kind of filth he might be into.
Yeah. I think he's a good guy, though. When he left, because I think he looked happy, but then he went, sorry. He left. But it was like, yeah.
He said sorry, like at the very end?
At the very end as he was leaving.
Okay.
And I went,
he didn't...
it's a dog. That's what I said to him.
Are you sure he didn't say something like this? Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe he whispered it to his dog.
Yeah. Or maybe.
But don't worry. I said, it's okay. He's a dog. What do I mean? About his dog. Like, I know. Like, I understand that dogs bark.
Yeah.
I guess what I was trying to convey there.
Mm-hmm. Is that you think he should have hit the dog or something?
No, I think he should have just
rolled
not
up
brought
a
his
newspaper.
Dog out. Another thing, these people when they walk their dogs and they're looking at their phone, and then the dog is on the leash all the way across the sidewalk, so they're taking up the whole sidewalk.
Yeah, you can't
and it's
do
just
that.
like, look, either have a dog
or have a phone.
Don't. Yeah, exactly. Or like, if it's like, oh, I was gonna look at my phone. Like, I hate walking the dog. Then don't get a goddamn dog. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Getting a dog is just walking the dog.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at my phone while I'm walking the dog, but only when we're stationary. I don't really walk and look at my phone because for that reason, it's like somebody could get into trouble. There's a reason. The whole reason I have to go outside with the dog is that the dog can't be trusted on its own.
Exactly.
So if I'm just looking at
barking at some babies,
and if I'm just looking at my phone, then what good am I doing out there?
Tom, you're one of the good dog owners.
Thank you. Tim, this week we're talking about one of the biggest stores out there.
Yeah, the 5th biggest retailer in America, if you ask me.
And that's based on your independent research?
Oh no, the 8th largest.
Oh, okay. Oh, what happened in the last few minutes?
Actually, I'm going off 2016 numbers. It's not 2016 anymore.
No,
Tom.
it's far from it. In fact, this was suggested to us by Hannah Flora. Who on our Patreon we did I would say maybe every 6 months or so we do like a call for
whenever
topics.
We're completely out of ideas. We ask the people that are paying for the program
hey,
to
why
do the work
do
for
some
us.
work?
Yeah, hey, start pulling your weight.
Yeah,
Hannah.
Thank you,
Hannah.
then we get so many good. I mean, honestly, good times. I mean, some of them are real
an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, some of them,
and then
really
some of them
suck.
are just an embarrassment.
Yeah, we're not going to call those ones out, but
you know who you are.
But a lot of good ones. And this was one of them
you
from
stink bugs
from Hannah about the Target Corporation. Maybe a little since you were starting off with some facts. Do you have any more facts you can start us off with? Any history?
Oh, history?
Historical facts about Target?
Tom, the Target Corporation began, I believe, in 1903. But it was called...
it wasn't Target yet.
It wasn't called Target. It had a much cooler name. Goodfellows Dry Goods Company.
Yeah. It sounds like a general store.
Yeah. It was
probably what it
1902. And then... in 1903, changed to Dayton Dry Goods Company. They should still call it Target Dry Goods Company. I guess they sell soda.
They sell wet stuff.
Yeah.
You know, what if you...
They sell Swiffer Wet Jet stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
What if you were on your way to Target and you're like, oh, I need a new Swiffer Wet... Or even worse... I think it's finally time to buy a Swiffer Wet Jet.
Yeah.
And you roll up to Target, and there's a big sign staring you in the face that says Target Dry Goods.
Yeah.
Wet
Jet isn't going to be anywhere 100 miles of that place.
You'd get back into your car, and you'd drive over to Walmart or something.
Yeah. I bought a Brita water filter there, Tom. Now...
Well,
the filter
is
dry.
I think that's fine.
But if it said dry goods, I'd be like, at what point it's going to be wet?
Well, hey, what do you do?
Are these goods that should never get wet? Should they?
Are they going to be selling Gremlins in there?
Permanently dry goods?
Are they going to be selling Gremlins in there and not even give you the warning about not getting them wet? Because, hey, read the sign outside that says dry goods.
Yeah, I think they should print it on
the
the receipt.
Means don't get anything in here wet.
The old man did tell the boy's dad not to get... He told him the rules.
Yeah, but he also told him don't let him eat after midnight. And it's like, and what time can he start eating?
Yeah, I know.
It's when you wake
midnight.
Up. I get, but what if the little guy wakes up super early? I don't know what the sleep schedule of a gremlin is like, a mogwai.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to ask the old man.
I was about to ask you the stupidest question I think I've ever thought, which was, are there any animals that are actually like gremlins? Where like if you get them wet or something, they like spores come out of them and bad versions of them start multiplying.
Not that I'm aware, because they would have just made them that.
They would have taken over.
This
somebody
movie is ripped from the headlines.
Somebody would have brought one of those things to Australia, and then a month later, everything's gone. It's just gremlins in Australia now, as if the wildlife here wasn't scary enough. Now it's just gremlins.
I I think I'd like to live in a world with gremlins.
You say that now, Tim, but I think these gremlins, they would have some pretty... I think they'd really get a kick. They'd get good reactions out of you, so I think they'd really get a kick out of trolling you constantly.
Yeah, I don't like being trolled.
Just messing with you all the time.
I will say this, Tom. For the past couple months, for some reason, I always get that little song, that little ditty that Gizmo sings.
Oh, that he
stuck
whistles?
in my head, though.
I thought you were going to say... Din, 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 din,
No.
din, din.
Well, it actually does. Once I get that Gizmo song stuck in the head, I get on the Gremlins tangent. I'm just like, it's a cool song from that movie.
Yeah. So to be clear, Target doesn't sell Gremlins, and they sell wet stuff, not just dry stuff.
Yeah. After
That's not to say
1903.
everything in there can get wet, but you're not going to be looking at a gremlin situation with everything. If you buy a pillow from there and you get a wet, you're going to be upset about it. But
just dry it.
But you can just dry it, yeah.
You can put it in the dryer or just air dry it.
Hey, you can buy a dryer at Target probably.
Probably.
Do they sell appliances?
I don't think so, no.
I'm sure some of them do.
Based on what?
Because they're all different size Targets. Which I'm sure we'll get into.
Clothing, furniture, patio and garden.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they don't sell appliances.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry if you...
somebody got the
already
information
in your car saying, I need a dryer. Let me head to Target.
Sorry. Tough noogies.
We're disappointing a lot of people pulling into the Target parking lot right now, expecting all kinds of things in there that they've been misled to believe from us.
Tom?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to correct you there. They sell appliances.
All right.
But not the way you're thinking.
Look, I'm sorry if you've gotten back in your car and you've left the Target parking lot. Please turn around. They might have dryers
Please go
in
back
there.
to Target. No, here's what they're calling appliances.
Oh, is it like toasters?
Air purifiers, humidifiers, air conditioners.
Look,
range hoods. That seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm thinking appliances, I'm thinking stoves.
I'm thinking dishwasher.
I'm thinking refrigerators.
I'm thinking washer dryer.
Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. Actually, those are the only four things I can think of.
Yeah. I was hoping to go on for
I mean, like air conditioners,
minutes.
But that's I would argue that's
yeah.
Yeah,
and don't tell me a
But,
blender. I mean, I guess a blender is just an appliance, but it's
that's
a small
kitchen appliance. Yeah, small appliance. Exactly right, Tim. Because I bet when you're in there, you're going to see a sign that says small appliances.
Exactly.
And guess what? If you're thinking, well, I want a refrigerator, it's not going to be there. Well, if you want a small refrigerator, they're going to have it in the small.
Yeah,
appliances.
I mean, part of the appliances that they got are dorm appliances.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, Target's a big college thing, I feel like, right?
Yeah, because they're cheap.
They're cheap, but let's talk a little bit about their history and like what their whole deal is.
Okay, sorry. You steer the ship.
Well, actually, I'll say it because I have a quote right here. Since its founding, so the actual Target itself started in 1962 in Rosedale, Minnesota. And they, since their founding, have intended to differentiate its stores from its competitors by offering what it believes to be more upscale, trend-forward merchandise at lower costs rather than traditional concept of focusing on low-cost goods. Douglas J. Dayton, one of the famous Dayton brothers.
Yeah, of Dayton Dry Goods.
Or infamous, depending on if maybe you were looking for something wet and you showed up there and one of these brothers threw you out the store by your collar. Explained John Geis concept. John Geis, from what I understand, this is kind of like a McDonald's situation.
Okay, where they just stole it.
Yeah, where like somebody else kind of
duped some,
kind of saw a business that was doing well and was like, I think we could supercharge this. I think we can turn your like very successful business into a multinational corporation.
Right.
And this guy said, we will offer high quality merchandise at low margins because we are cutting expenses. We would much rather do this than trumpet dramatic price cuts on cheap merchandise. Shots fired at Walmart and Kmart and Caldor and all the other
Tom,
places.
I read an interesting article on bestlifeonline.com.
Okay. Wow, that sounds like something I should make my homepage.
Yeah, the paper of record. 30 surprising things you never knew about Target. And Tom, right there, number 10, their low prices are intentional.
Oh, I thought it was an accident.
Yeah, no. It might sometimes feel like you're getting deals at Target that are too good to be true, but don't worry. That's exactly what the company wants.
Oh, this whole time I thought everything I bought there inexpensively was mislabeled.
Yeah, no.
I thought they just had like a really bad inventory system.
No, when the first Target was founded in the 1960s, it was created according to the company's website. So they've done their research at bestlifeonline.com. It was founded as a new kind of mass market discount store that caters to value-oriented shoppers seeking higher quality experience.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing that you just said. So
in a different way.
They're just like, it's good stuff for cheap. And I would take issue with that because I don't think the stuff's all that good.
No, but it is good compared to Walmart, I think, which is really what they're after. Because we don't... Even
you know what I really used to hate in college?
What?
Walmart. I was like, I'll die before I see a Walmart open in New York City. I'll lay my life down on the line.
But every time you've been to a Walmart, it's like a wonderland.
Yeah. It's only been when I've been going camping. And it's like, forgot a tent. Well, I need to buy a tent for $18. That's great.
But I only need to use it once, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll throw it out on the way out of the campsite.
I would say that's a difference. Walmart sells a lot of stuff that they are hoping you're only going to use once.
Yeah.
Whereas Target's like, maybe this will last you a year or two. But we had Targets on Long Island. We didn't really have Walmarts when we were growing up.
No.
And when I went to college, there was like a Target somewhat nearby. Since I graduated, they've built a Target literally across the street.
At your college?
At my college, across the street from from State University. Yeah. You remember that I'm legally not allowed to say where I went to school anymore.
It was the whole thing.
Yeah, a bunch of people signed up for classes thinking they were going to be the next Tom Reynolds, and then they sued the school because they didn't offer the classes they wanted. But that was when I really understood, because when you're a teenager or a kid, all these stores are boring as hell because they're not selling anything that you're ever going to buy.
Toys.
They have toys, and that's the fun part of the store. But everything else, you're like, home goods? Who gives a shit? Small appliances? I don't even care if they have big appliances.
Big appliance. You could hide in a refrigerator for hide and seek.
That's true. They did have good hiding places inside of appliances, or even a dishwasher.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically with college, that being the first time where
there was an episode of Punky Brewster where they were playing hide and seek, and a kid hid in the abandoned or in a refrigerator that was like
being thrown out.
Mm-hmm. The kid almost died.
Yeah, he can suffocate inside it.
And it was a whole.
I think since then they've made it easier to get out of refrigerators.
Yeah, that's great. But
we'll try later. I'll take everything out of my fridge, and you can get in there, and we'll see if you can get out.
Check it out. My legs are so strong, Tom. But a kid probably couldn't.
Right.
But the whole point of the show was to teach kids don't hide in the refrigerator ever.
No matter how cool it
got
looks.
My head thinking, I bet I could get out of a refrigerator. I think, and also, if it ever comes to like there's an abandoned refrigerator, and we're playing hide and seek, I'll hide in there because they know no other kid would be brave enough to do it.
Like, oh, that he wouldn't hide in there.
You've seen
knows
Punky
better.
Brewster? Yeah, we've all seen Punky Brewster, and I'd be like, nah, I'll go in and I'll get out, no problem.
Got to an hour later, they open the fridge and a blue Tim falls out.
Yeah.
They also were supposed to make the original draft of Back to the Future. The time machine was a refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
And same thing. They were like, Universal or whatever It's like, this is a great movie. We love it. We can't make a movie where the coolest thing you could ever imagine, a time machine, involves getting inside a refrigerator. Why don't we make it this cool car?
Yeah. Hey, Spielberg. Hey, Zemeckis. Haven't you ever seen an episode of freaking Punky Brewster?
So like I was saying before, I just remember college was the first time that Target was more interesting than just the toy section and maybe like the video game section.
Yeah. Well, you went there and you were like, we have a Whirlpool 3.1 cubic feet mini refrigerator, stainless steel.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's not big enough for me to fit inside it, but maybe we had at my college, because it was like an old building. They claimed at least it was like, shitty old wiring.
Mm-hmm.
So we were only allowed to have, I think, maybe one mini fridge per room, and it had to be under a certain size.
Why would you need more than one mini fridge per room?
Because I don't
You're
know.
not a maniac. Just get a real fridge. Just get a big fridge.
No, because if you want to keep shit separate from your roommate, maybe you want your own. You can put a lock on it or something.
You know what, Tom?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever have roommates in college?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, my freshman year.
You were an RA.
Not freshman year.
Oh, yeah. He wore a T-shirt as underpants.
Yeah.
Oh, you had an antagonistic relationship.
Yeah, I would have loved to. Actually, I don't remember us ever having a problem with food in the fridge, but I think it was simply because we could only have one fridge and it was very small.
Right.
So it was just kind of like nothing got left in there because there just wasn't room to leave anything in there.
Like, the freezer is for my Hot Pockets and nothing else.
Right.
Don't put any of your...
I don't even remember like having Hot Pockets in there. I think it was mostly just if you got something from the dining hall and then you had too much of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd want to save it.
You don't need to refrigerate that.
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, it's a good idea to do it.
And then we couldn't have microwaves, but there was like a microwave in the lounge, so that was fine.
This is
Yeah.
This is madness, Tom.
I'm telling you, the way they described the electrical system in this building, it was made out of paper clips or something. I mean, a lot of money, like enough money that they certainly could have updated the electrical system over the summer instead of just having prison inmates come in and repaint the place.
That's how they did it?
Yeah, that's how they did it.
You should have gone on a hunger strike, Tom.
Because I had a student, because I was there like early because I was an RA, and I had this knucklehead student that helped a prison inmate escape.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because this guy was telling me the story, and the whole time he's telling me the story, I'm thinking, yeah, I believe this. This guy's a knucklehead. This guy definitely would do this. Where because I remember I was working during the summer, and I was at work, and they had put out some kind of, all points bulletin.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's an escaped state inmate on campus somewhere. Please keep a lookout. If you see him.
Tackle him.
No, if you see him,
wanted, dead or alive.
Call 911. And it wasn't until I got home later that day and they had found the guy. And this guy told me, he's like, I was driving and this guy like came up to me at a stop sign. And he was like, hey, man, can you give me a lift to the metro station? And I was like, yeah, I'm driving that way. Sure. And he's like, when we get to the metro station, the guy's like, actually, you're going this way? Can you just go like a little bit further? I'm going to go to my grandma's house. And he said he was driving the guy for like 15 minutes. And finally he was like, where's your grandma? She lives right here. I can get out here. The guy just got out and ran into the woods. And then, they found him like a very short time later.
That's not like a boneheaded thing. That was
Picking up he was wearing a fucking orange jumpsuit.
Oh, did you mention that earlier? I was zoning out a little bit. Okay.
I thought that should be that when they like take people out, they aren't like, oh, by the way, prisoners, we're going to give you your clothes back that you were
maybe
wearing.
He knocked out a civilian and dragged him into the broom closet and switched clothes with him.
No.
Happens all the time. Tom, the screen just goes whoop and switches around and then he walks out with new clothes on.
And this guy, he wanted the reward. He wanted like some kind of reward because like once he found out, he called the police and he was like, yeah, it sounds like the guy in the orange jumpsuit that I drove to the woods. And then later he was like, is there some kind of a reward?
We're look in the woods.
Yeah. But they don't give rewards to people that help somebody escape.
What about unknowingly?
Who's to say he didn't know?
Who's to say he knew?
Like I said, the guy was wearing an orange jumpsuit, so
it could be for fashion. Tom, a Whirlpool, good brand. Would you agree?
Yeah, sure.
A name brand when it comes to
a name
mini
brand.
Mini
fridges, and also dishwashers.
A
sure.
2.7 cubic foot mini fridge in stainless steel at Target. How much do you think it is?
$100.
No, it's $119. But
oh yeah,
I think that's pretty good.
I was gonna say $40.
I think that's pretty good for a mini fridge. I thought a mini fridge would be like $400 for some reason.
Really? No, and I feel like the price has gone up. I mean, I feel like the price has gone up since I bought one of these 20 years ago. But I do think that like when I bought a mini fridge, it was like $60.
Yeah,
I rented. That was 1970s dollars though. You rented one? Oh yeah, you guys had like rental fridges.
How do you know this?
Because I remember when I would go to your school, everybody had the same fridges. And I was like, would you guys all go to Target together?
No, there was a Kmart in Astor Place, and we all went there. But no, there was a company, like an outside company that came in, and they just like went door to door. It was like lawless.
Door to door fridge renters?
Yeah, basically, when people were moving in, they're just like, hey, yeah, you want
Hello there, pal. Let me ask you a question.
It worked.
You have any food that gets too warm? You wish it were colder? Well, boy, oh boy, do I have just the product for you.
Can I hide in it, though, sir?
Well, you can't hide in it, sir, but I'll tell you what, you won't have to buy it. You can rent it. I'm kind of surprised that wasn't like a scam of then counting on college kids to break those fridges.
Oh, yeah, because this guy, this stuck-up piece of crap.
He was stuck up. He rented refrigerators to college
this guy on my floor.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the salesman.
What was his name? Was like Anson or something. Like it was something like shitty. And he like
I'm imagining like a British salesman in like a
like a Music Man or
Savile
something?
Row suit, like. Hello, sir. May I show you some of our finest mini refrigerators?
No, this guy lived next door to me. He was a dick to everybody on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was better than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
On the last day,
did he buy his refrigerator?
No, he rented it.
Okay.
Last day of everybody's moving out. He knocks on my door. He's like, "I gotta run. When the refrigerator guy comes, can you like deal?" And I was just like, yes, I'm nice, whatever. Because I'm too nice, Tom.
Yeah,
that guy's freaking refrigerator was broken, and then the rental company was like trying to get me to pay for it. It's like I don't even like this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, didn't they have his information and stuff? Can they just bill him?
20 years ago.
Well, I mean, that also sounds like a. I mean, if they were trying to make you pay for it. It seems like you'd also just say, how about this? I just say, no, actually, I don't remember showing you any refrigerator. Like, how else were you planning on getting this refrigerator back?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a deposit or something?
Tom,
just take it out of that money.
All right. You know what? If you were there 20 years ago giving me this advice, it was very helpful.
You know what? I wish you had called me, Tim.
I did. At that time, I did consider you my mentor.
Right. I've been in college a year longer. I would have known how to handle things like that. Tim,
you had no idea how to handle a mini fridge as big as this one. You had no.
It doesn't sound like it was a mini fridge at all. Could you climb inside of it, for example?
No, No.
Well, then it could have child
I'm
climb
sure
inside it.
Better than I'm sure it's bigger than the one that could be in your crappy electric building at State U.
I mean, I don't doubt it. There were all kinds of. They told us like we couldn't have Wi-Fi because it would like mess
it
with
wasn't
everything.
Invented yet?
No, it was invented, but it was new.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like an early adopter. I was like, oh, I'm going to get... Actually, I wasn't even, because it was so expensive. And it's like, well, I live in a room that's smaller than a prison cell.
Yeah.
I don't really need Wi-Fi.
The prisoners, after painting the walls, were like, get us back.
Hey, get me out of here. I'm getting claustrophobic being in this guy's room. Yeah, we couldn't have I think we couldn't have cordless phones. There was like all kinds of
you got bilked. You got hosed by your I bet they still send you letters like, hey, you want to give us money though, right?
Yeah, all the time. And it's
we need to update the electric.
Yeah. Well, we finally got cable, and like my last year there, and it was only because the local cable company bought the naming rights to the stadium.
Well, how is it that I've heard this story a million times?
Because it's one of my best stories. Tim, one of the ways Target makes a lot of money is they've got their own brands.
Yeah. But
they don't just have like it's not, oh, there's a Target brand. No, they've got sub brands, like dozens of sub brands.
Yeah,
almost.
and they you think they're like, oh, this is a cool brand because they do. It's not like look.
Yeah, they all have different.
Love Costco. We love Kirkland.
Mm-hmm.
But like you see Kirkland and you're like, oh, this is some low rent
right.
Costco stuff, like
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. You know what it is.
Target, you're like, this is a new exciting brand.
Right,
Look at
that
the
I just
colors
haven't
and
heard
the logo,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, they spend a lot of money, it seems like, on graphic design and packaging design and making
They should just go to Fiverr.com and get somebody to
well, maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. But they're all like distinctive from each other.
What are some of the brands?
Up and Up is their kind of like
cleaners and stuff.
Yeah, and like
soaps,
like
cleaners.
I was gonna say like batteries and Band-Aids maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot of Up and Up stuff in my head. Oh, by the way, as soon as we had this kid,
yeah,
this baby that we love very much, he just started like placing a Target order every week.
Oh,
we
really?
have Target boxes coming all hours of the day and night, every single day.
Yeah, well, I mean, there you go. Good place for baby stuff.
I got some Up and Up wipes, I think, Tom.
There you
That's
go.
where I've seen the logo.
Wow.
On the baby wipes.
You don't buy your kid name brand stuff? Cheaping out on them? Cheaping out on the wipes you use to clean up his poop?
Tom, I gotta tell you, I got the name brand stuff, and I got the Up and Up. Up and Up doesn't smell weird. The other ones smell weird. They all got a scent to them. Up and Up is just like when it says unscented, they freaking mean it.
You could shove this thing up your nose and you wouldn't be able to smell anything.
When I first opened this up, I was like, oh no, I've gotten the COVID-19 because I can't smell a thing.
I do like store brands for the reason that if you're at the supermarket, if you're at a place and you're looking at, like, let's say toothpaste, if you're like, you know what, I'm a Colgate man.
You can say toothpaste is one word.
Toothpaste. And you say, I'm a Colgate man. I'm brand loyal. Well, guess what, buddy? You got 50 different Colgates to choose from.
Also, if you're going to choose a toothpaste brand to be brand loyal to, it's going to be Colgate?
Yeah,
where the hell did you grow? Yeah, exactly.
But
disgusting house did you grow up in?
I feel like the store brand stuff nowadays, it's like this is the normal version. This isn't the extra sensitive or the extra strength or the scented or not. Just like, hey, do you not want to have to look it through 50 different things to figure out which one is the one you should get? Just buy the store brand. It's the
other
average
thing is,
version.
Once you realize that these companies, like the Colgates of the world, even the Crests of the world, to which I am brand loyal, these new versions that they come up with aren't like scientists coming up with them. It's marketing.
Yeah,
coming up.
just
It's like,
different food dye. In
yeah,
there or
exactly.
whatever.
And they're like, all right, how do we sell this? Can we say that it's longer lasting?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, yeah, sure. How is anybody going to prove it's not?
Can we put plastic in the toothpaste? Would that help anything? But I mostly just wanted to talk about this because so they have brands like Up and Up, Archer Farms. That's their like
Yeah, I'd never eat that shit.
produce and stuff. Good and Gather is replacing Archer Farms, by the way.
Oh, really?
Boots and Barley, that's for dog stuff. Room Essentials, that's for room essentials.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna get your college
But
dorm.
this one I like, which I haven't seen. Hide and Eek, a Halloween decoration brand, and Hyde is Hyde.
Oh, like
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I guess Mr. Hyde's not the one you were afraid of, though.
Yeah,
so.
no. He is.
He was, right.
Even though Jekyll
just
has
thinking-
the scarier name.
And he's a doctor, so
Yeah.
it sounds like,
No, he's on the up and up. He went to medical school.
Well, what about Dr. Frankenstein? He went to medical school, and look what they taught him, how to make a monster.
He came up with that on his own.
I didn't know this. Most Target stores do not play music.
Wow.
That may be changing from 2017 with the rebranding process, adding music to the rebranded stores.
I think every time I've been in a Target lately,
they now have music.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of music? Loving an elevator. You know, when we were talking about elevators last week, I wanted to talk about what?
That's the first song that came to mind. That would be funny.
Because it's been in my head all week.
Aerosmith's "Love It" an Elevator.
Because when I talked last week about getting stuck in an elevator,
Yeah.
all I can think about is loving an elevator. Hey, buddy, you're not doing yourself any favors because guess what? The most you're in an elevator for is a minute.
Tom, I think you did say that on the episode last week.
Okay. Well, I'd like to reiterate it then.
And Steven Tyler heard that. He's going to kick your ass.
Steven Tyler couldn't kick my ass.
Yeah, he seems very frail.
Oh,
he seems
he seems like he might bite.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that he's like
He's
sick
Tim.
or something.
Tim,
Like,
I've just received word. He's very sick. And I wish you wouldn't say such mean things about him.
no, I'm just saying, like, everybody clowned on Bruce Willis for
Yeah,
5
that's
years
true.
for doing shitty movies. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, how dare you?
Yeah,
It's like,
look at this idiot. He can't remember his lines. He needs an earpiece.
yeah,
And
it's
then
like,
it's
oh,
like,
he's got a horrible thing, and everybody wishes him well now.
yeah, and maybe I mean that was always a thing to me that the way people just jump to like it's because he's lazy, and the whole time I'm thinking, I don't know, he never needed an earpiece during the other 30 years of his career. Maybe something is going on.
See, I thought people were clowning on him.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great topic for our Target conversation. For our Target episode.
Target sells Bruce Willis products.
Yeah, they sell Return of Bruno CDs. It's their top seller every year. No, I thought people were clowning on him because he did like bad movies.
Yeah, really
now.
shitty
like
movies.
100 bad movies a year, and they're just like, oh, he's cashing in, and like he's got this horrible thing, and it
Yeah.
sucks, but it doesn't change the fact that he did 100 bad
he was
movies.
cashing in on bad movies.
Yeah.
That these movies that were made by the real life turtle, by the way.
Yeah.
That they were like, oh yeah, we don't care that he's having all these problems. The rest of the movie is not going to be good, so it's fine. Anyway, Tim, I was reading about some interesting facts about Target from Mental Floss. Not dental floss, Mental Floss. Imagine
That's like,
that. A string in one ear, out the other.
Mental Floss.
I've never...
Home of Ken Jennings' Connections puzzles.
Oh, okay. There are red buttons and red phones in Target that you can press or pick up if you have a question.
Yeah, I guess.
They're supposed to respond within 15 seconds of that.
Wow. If they don't, then
If they
everybody gets
don't.
a shock. An electric shock.
Yeah, that's what the collars they wear are for. Biohazard.
You thought they were wearing red dog collars for fashion.
Biohazard cleanup. At Target, cart attendants are typically responsible for retrieving shopping carts as well as any general maintenance, including messes that didn't make their way into a toilet or sink. But if the cart attendant isn't available, that means other team members have to be trained in eliminating messes. Technically, it's the cart attendant's responsibility, but we don't have one all the time. Catherine told Metal Floss, you have to be certified in biohazard cleanup. It's training you're able to clean chemical spills, feces, stuff like that.
Why are you telling me this?
Catherine says she's had to dispose of errant poop as well as used underwear. Fortunately, there's a hierarchy.
Used underwear? Like, used underwear doesn't necessarily mean that.
Used as in worn or used as in shit in. There's a hierarchy for serious spills, though. For blood, we're supposed to get the store leader. So, Tim, if you ever are at Target and you think, boy, I'd like to meet the store leader, but I just don't know how.
Open a vein, baby.
Just start bleeding everywhere. Yeah. Or have, if you don't have a sharp instrument, have somebody sock you one in the nose.
Yeah.
That'll do the trick, too. This one I actually did find interesting. You know how Target's like, I would say maybe all Targets, certainly most Targets now have Starbucks inside them.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Those are not real Starbucks. Those are Target-run Starbucks that Starbucks does not consider real Starbucks.
Who cares?
So
Who cares? So they're allowed to unionize?
The people are not trained to the typical levels that you would expect from a Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that why you always scream at them when you go to
This
Target?
is the way I want my Frappuccino. For Funko collectors, coveting the block-headed vinyl figures means going on a hunt for exclusives at various retail outlets. And basically, Target has a lot of those. And this woman, Catherine, that Mental Floss talked to, she said they can be the most annoying people in the world. Other collectors, Hot Wheel collectors, are not that bad. Funko collectors know the item number, what time the truck arrives. They have their own subreddit. They know how we work and operate. They can be hostile in person.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
All these, I mean, that must be a nightmare. I feel like Target has a lot of that nowadays, that they sell collectors' toys. And I feel like I read something about Pokemon cards maybe last summer that you know, they were one of the like few places that had like Pokemon cards.
They always seem to have an exclusive version of the new Taylor Swift album.
Well, but that they're going to print up 1 million of them. But I think with these things, they're rare. I saw an end cap the last time I was at Target in the toy aisle that it was something like toys for collectors. And it was like adults, not adult stuff, not like, you know.
You got excited.
But more expensive stuff that, you know, you're not supposed to touch. You're just supposed to look at. And man, that's got to be so annoying for Target. I don't know why places like Target do that, because all you're going to get are these collectors. They're not going to buy anything else. They're just going to cause.
I think McDonald's is bringing back the Szechuan sauce again.
Oh,
why are you doing
after
this?
The last time, yeah.
Like, stop, get up. Yeah, like, hey, you know what? Like Target's like,
yeah, you know what?
I think
our minimum wage employees have it too good.
Yeah,
maybe we want to send people there who aren't really even customers. They're mostly just people looking to flip stuff on eBay or whatever. And we'll have our employees have to deal with those people now.
And the thing is, they'll buy it for $12.99 and sell it for $900.
Right.
We don't see any of the profit
we see
from the
$1.37 of that.
Very low margins, from what I understand.
Yeah, well,
this doesn't really seem to track with their low margins, sell in high quantities, right?
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know, it's just stupid. I don't know why. I'm sure I get from the like executive level or whatever, somebody thinks, oh, this will be a way to bring in. I'm sure they've done market research, and it's like the people who collect these on average make, you know, $90,000 a year, and the average Target customer makes $45,000. So this will be a way to bring people who will make more money in. It's like, yeah, but they're not going to buy anything else. They're just going to buy this weird, shitty little thing. They're going to cause all kinds of problems, and then they're going to leave.
Well, as long as they leave. Tom, let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. You and I going to Target.
Well, this one person had a story about this guy that like just didn't leave, and he was just like, I know it's here. Go in the back and open up all the boxes.
Was it you?
It was me, and I was right because they did have what I was looking for in one of the boxes.
Tom, if we were to go to Target right now,
yeah,
which one would you go to?
Oh, because
Atlantic Terminal,
yeah,
or City Point?
City Point.
Yeah, right? Atlantic Terminal sucks. It is right next to the Best Buy where we saw each other outside of.
Right. That we ran into each other outside of one time. The closest Target to us is in Atlantic Center. It's right across the street from Barclays Center. So you would think, oh, I bet it's a nice Target.
Why would you think it's a nice Target?
I don't know, because people watch basketball across the street.
Yeah.
It is by far the worst Target I've ever been in.
It's the worst place I've ever been in.
Yeah.
And I've been to hell.
It's picked over. Nothing's, it's a Target that honestly looks like a Caldor. If we're being honest, you know,
shit.
I would never say something like that to somebody's face.
The Dalton's face, the Dayton's face.
But yeah, it sucks.
Talk about wet goods. Everything there is moist.
Right.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Walking to the City Point Target.
Yeah.
Got to kill some time.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going? You thinking, hey, I got $25 burning a hole in my pocket.
Why am I killing time before I go to Target?
No, when you get into Target.
Okay.
You're killing time. You got 20 minutes in Target, $25 in your pocket that you could maybe burn.
That's my last money on earth.
No. This is the last disposable income you got.
Okay.
After a weekend-long bender.
Okay.
And it's like, what department you perusing?
I don't know. I like to just kind of like amble through a Target.
You know where I go?
Where?
DVDs, baby. You can get like a Wayne's World Blu-ray for like $2.99.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And it's always the most. You can get like, it's like Wayne's World, Addams Family Values.
Yeah. You can get
Richie
really good prices on like DVDs or Blu-rays. And I do enjoy actually looking at what movies they've bundled together.
Yeah.
Because so many times they don't even make sense. And so many times you're looking at me and you're like, these aren't even from the same studio. I don't understand how
Fletch lives in Platoon? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
For $2.99?
Yeah.
All right. It is fun to look at the DVDs. I like looking at the novelty T-shirts. They do have like a good selection of like $10 T-shirts.
Yeah, and it's like they got like MTV logos and stuff.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of shit that
appeals
to old idiots.
Should I buy a shirt that Instagram's trying to get me to buy that has the Nick at Night logo on it?
Well, not before you check out the local Target, Tim.
Yeah, that's true.
Tim, you might be sitting here and thinking, boy, Target sounds great. I'd love to work there. Well, you haven't heard it all, Tim, because Target has some. This was pitched as like, well, they have some pretty amazing perks. These are their perks: 10% discount.
That's not bad.
Flexible hours.
That's not bad.
Flexible for them, not flexible for you. So we have a wide variety of hours that we need people, and mandated break times. I mean, that's any job as maybe not in all states.
When I worked at the butcher shop, Tom,
yeah, but were you working off the books?
I prefer not to say.
Yeah,
I don't know what the statute of limitations is.
Yeah, I mean, you were also like 14. You probably shouldn't have been working around like.
That's not 14. Tom,
fucking
when I was 14,
knives
I had never done an honest minute's work in my life.
Yeah, well, you're about to turn 40, and the same could be argued.
I'm not quite that old.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. Follow us on Twitter at complete guide. You can follow us on Instagram at tcgte, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim. Tom, you were going to skip over me.
I was going to skip over you.
I'm here too.
And you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/complete guide. You get books. Well, right now you get Books the Podcast. We're starting a new book, On the Road by Jack Kerouac.
Tom, you're reading it.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody who would have a worse time reading On the Road than you. You don't like hippie beatnik stuff.
You know what, Tim? I wouldn't say if I agree with you or not, because people are going to have to pay. They're going to have to pony up $5 to find out. Maybe it's the best book I've ever read, or maybe it's garbage. Maybe it's just bullshit boomer nonsense that
we do Books the Podcast. Previous books have been what? The Hobbit we recently did.
The Bible.
Well, that's the good book. That's on the good book, the podcast. And then
no, we didn't do the Bible. I don't want somebody signing up here like, "Where's the Bible?"
I signed up for a Bible study Patreon. By two of the world's biggest idiots.
We did O.J. Simpson's book a while back. Yeah,
Papa John's book.
Yeah, look, a wide range of authors is what we cover on Books Podcast. You get the new episodes, you get all the old episodes. You also get last week we did a reunion episode of Amazing Facts, our old Patreon podcast, which is also available to you if you sign up.
And these are full length episodes, baby.
Yeah, sometimes even more than full length. Sometimes so long, you look at them and you go, "Oh, they."
A peek behind the curtain.
The
Patreon stuff. We record this show, then we drink beers. More beer. Drink throughout the show. And then we record the Patreon show. So it's a little bit more freewheeling, Tom.
If you were disappointed last week that my address was bleeped out, sign up to Patreon. Maybe you'll hear it. And also at tcgt.com, you'll find links to our subreddit, links to our Discord.
The Discord is hopping.
Yeah.
I like going into the Discord, Tom.
Yeah, you like lurking on there?
Yeah, I don't really... like the other day.
Tim, is that you? There's it's not your username, but there's another username that every week they go in and they say, "Boy, Tim sure was funny this week." Don't you guys think?
What are some of your favorite things about Tim?
I just can't even imagine being Tim. That must be so cool.
No, it's a good community.
It is a good community. It's nice.
An ever-growing community.
Yeah, they should talk about us more.
Yeah, I think so.
They barely talk about us. It's infuriating.
That's
in a way.
Great, Tom. They all have their own lives.
Well, maybe they should think about our lives. Maybe they should think about, hey, how can I boost Tom's ego today?
Yeah, it was nice the other day when there was a brouhaha here in New York City.
Yeah, that's the way it was described.
People were like, "Hey, are they okay?"
Yeah.
We were, and we both posted that we were. It was nice.
So, yeah, if you ever want to check up on us and
make sure we're okay, just tag us in the Discord. We'll tell you if we're okay or not.
Right. If you sign up to the Patreon, you get access to a Patreon-only channel in the Discord where anything goes.
There's manipulation of the Books the Podcast.
Yeah, there's collusion happening in there.
Polls, yeah. If you ever wanted to collude...
Yeah, if you ever want to collude and not worry about the legal consequences.
Yeah. I'm going to sue everybody in that Discord channel. And then Reddit, all the links are there.
All the links are there.
Oh, remind me to talk to you, Tom. I think, did you get the email that our domain is going to expire in like 3 days? Okay.
I told you all this
you
stuff.
Didn't
Don't
tell me
bring
that.
this up on the show.
I was going to forget in a couple minutes when we finished, so I figured I'd just bookmark it here. Tom? Favorite thing about Target?
Favorite thing about Target? They got
their everyday low prices?
No, they got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And also, even though it is kind of bullshit, because it is what this gigantic corporation wants, whenever I'm in there, I'm walking out with something I didn't intend on buying.
Yeah,
but that's kind of fun. That's nice.
You know what? I like perusing the kitchen appliances.
Now, are you talking the small ones or the big ones?
The small ones. Dummy.
Well,
I'm a dummy.
I was looking to see if you were like, no, I like looking at the big ones. Then I would say, well, how come you didn't know if they have them or not? You fucking liar.
Yeah, you're always setting traps for me here. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, one day
He's
I'm
trying
going
to make me look the fool.
One day I'm going to set a trap inside a refrigerator, Tim. You're going to climb in there. Free cheese.
Kick myself out of there so easily.
I'm going to kick the door closed. I'm going to get one of those like meat locker fridges that you can't open from the inside.
Freaking bust out the top.
The top. You can't bust out the top. There's bulletproof glass.
It's bulletproof glass?
Yeah. I'm talking about the meat locker type fridges.
Oh, God. When I worked at the butcher shop.
Yeah.
I was so afraid that they would, like...
Yeah, you watched too much television. You thought you were going to get locked in there.
No, they did it to this guy, Tommy. They just put him in the meat locker for, way too long. He was like, let him out. He's going to die in there. Haven't you guys ever seen Punky Brewster?
The next week, we had a sale on liverwurst, Tommy's favorite.
See you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.